Welcome to the series Studio Talks, brought to you by Texas Wesleyan's Mass Communication Department. I'm your host, Dr. K.L. Colley. Each week, we'll talk with a mass communication professional who has visited our campus. In today's episode, we'll hear from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram's Bud Kennedy. Bud is well known for his columns and his social media presence. Take a listen. So, Bud, could you give us just a few ideas of what it's like, how your job is different now because of social media?
Okay. Well, I guess we could be just exchanging tweets about this, but my job basically, well, first of all, my job is 24 hours because of social media. But the way that newspaper journalists, well, I say paper, the way journalists use social media now doesn't involve paper at all. But not only is the Twitter, not only are Twitter and Facebook the ways to talk with readers and the ways we get feedback from readers, but also there are ways we find out what other reporters are working on. A lot of the reason that you see so many journalists emphasizing social media and saying, follow me on social media, a lot of the people following them are their competing journalists. They want to, if we're in Dallas-Fort Worth where there are 7 competing television stations, 2 in Spanish. And so when one of the television stations says we're rolling en route to this story, then the other television and news reporters all find out about it and follow them. And some of that is how the gaggle begins, where all the reporters gather around. But it's even more so than for the general public. For the general public, it's become like a wire service. Now when you hear something big's happening, people go to Twitter instead of going to their app for the AP, because Twitter is quicker. Right. And so, even more so than for the general public, journalists find Twitter particularly useful. It's our breaking news app of the day.
Wow. Well, I know that the Star-Telegram has had a Be Like Bud campaign to try to introduce their reporters and editors and the different folks that they have there who are working on content to be more involved in social media. So what does it feel like to be the face of social media?
Well, Be Like Bud, it's like, in 2008, I'd say it was, being like Bud would put you a little bit ahead. I got on Twitter and Facebook at the Democratic Convention in 2008, and I was a little bit ahead of the game. I may be a little behind the game now. I mean, now, there may be somebody out there who Snapchats and brings in page 1 stories that they learned about on Snapchat or on another app that where the news reporters aren't there. But it's been interesting to see social media evolve from a news gathering tool and an audience interaction tool to a news promotion tool. And now so much of the emphasis on social media is to post stories, push stories, send them out to readers. Most of our stories now are read because someone saw a link on Facebook. There is less Googling for stories now or for news, and more readership off Facebook links and social media links. And so that's changed this dynamic again. Even 3 or 4 years ago, Google was still the primary source, and the homepage were the primary sources for readership. Now most of our readership comes through social media.
Wow, that's a big change.
Well, the numbers just pile up, and you can watch. We have the tote board now in the newsroom where we can watch what the most read item is, and on a slow day, you can watch if I post a story on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, then and I have about 20,000 followers, where I can post a story, and if I've written a good headline for it, a catchy post, and it looks good on social media, then I can just watch the numbers go up, where it'll be 10, 20, 30, 200, 400 people reading it, and so the social media now is news gathering, talking with readers, and promoting our news links.
Thanks for listening. Join us next week as we talk with Lockheed Martin's Ken Ross. I'm Dr. K.L. Colley. See you next week.